Cool. All right. Well, Tiffany, I'll let you kind of take it away and introduce who I am and who Drezden is, and we'll have a great conversation.
All right, sounds good. Well, Tom and I met at a Grant Cardone function. And then from there, I learned a little bit about, what you do, Tom, and helping people buy private jets and things like that and save on taxes. And something that I'll be looking, for in the future, hopefully. And Tom's looking for a bookkeeper, so I introduced him to Drezden, who is also in our Bookkeeper Academy program, was able to leave her corporate job and run her bookkeeping business from home so she could stay home with her two girls. And I'd love to know how it's been, with you two working together.
For sure. Thanks, Tiffany. I appreciate that, and thank you so much for putting us together, because I feel like I don't know how many small business owners feel this way. As a salesperson, working primarily on commission, I'm good at marketing, I'm good at sales, but I am terrible with numbers. Like, I just am a complete mess when it comes to organizing my books and stuff. And even when Jen and I were first talking, I'm like, can you do like everything for me, like including like my personal budget and figure out all that kind of stuff. And she was like, whoa, let's start with the business first. But I appreciate working with Jen because of that personal introduction, from you to her. It put me at ease. And then just in speaking with her, I knew that she understood that I was a hot mess, and she came in with a very calm energy and was just like, I'm going to take care of it. We're going to handle this. We're going to get through it together. So it's been an absolute pleasure working with Justin.
That's awesome. I love that.
Thank you. I am so thankful for the opportunity that Tiffany has given me. Marketing has never been like a strong suit for me. So given that I've already had some sort of accounting background, I went to school for it, was working in corporate America, I just lacked the confidence that I had in myself. And I needed somebody that I could go to whenever I had any questions or doubts or anything new that I was facing. Because, in accounting, everything's always changing. There's new industries. There's lots of new stuff to learn. So I came across Tiffany and quickly joined her program. And everything that she had to offer was phenomenal. I grew quickly and was able to leave corporate America, kind of like she said. And to be able to have that credibility partner and somebody to bounce the referrals off of, because when you're dealing with people's finances, it's a very intimate and personal thing. A lot of people don't want to open that up to you. And so for me, I always serve my clients based off of trust. I want to build that partnership and that connection with you to walk alongside you. Because like you said, you're not a numbers person. So I tend to balance my clients out because they tend to be very creative, or they see things in a different way than like being able to just look at numbers and read the financial reports and tell you and know what that's telling you for your business. So I try to come at it in a way that's complimenting you and make it relatable to you.
Yeah, as I was going to say, like when you're looking for an accountant, like if you just like Google like accountant or bookkeeper, like they're just like these images of just like either a super professional posh gentleman or just like almost like a librarian looking lady that's like 80 years old and blue hair. You're just like, it's not very attractive. And for me and my business, like it's exciting, and I think for a lot of small businesses, they're excited about their small business. And so the fact that you're able to pair people, I think it's a huge benefit of working with your bookkeepers and bookkeepers who are in your program, because it's very personal. Just like what Justin was saying, finances and numbers are a very intimate and personal thing, so that when you're being paired with somebody, you want that sense of personhood and that sense of care and kindness, and that's what Drezden does, and it's been really good.
Yes, yeah. You have a really great, caring bookkeeper for sure. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys have enjoyed working together. I knew you would be a good match.
Yeah. And so I got to tell you, like, Working with Drezden's also been a very educational experience because of, not just her training as an accountant prior to, but I'm sure as a testimony to the training she received with your program, she's able to catch things that I had been missing for years. And so, I was fortunately cursed that she caught a mistake that kind of cost me a lot of money this year, but she's going to save it next year because I wasn't doing my numbers, my bookkeeping appropriately, and she was able to catch it, and she was able to soften almost a $30,000 blow at the end of the year. She was able to deliver that news, pretty calmly and patiently. She's like, "Tom, are you sitting down?" I'm like, "What is going on?" And we worked through it. And she's also working with my other team members. So she's working with my accountant, she's working with my assistants, and so that's also been a pleasure too. But I'm sure Drezden has learned a lot, as I've learned a lot, in this process as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Tiffany's program really encompasses everything that you need to learn your bookkeeping business. So how to start it, like filing for your LLC, getting all of your ducks in a row, and then she just takes you every single step of the way and kind of holds your hand and guides you. So how to market, how to find clients. When you actually get those clients, she's there to assist you every single step of the way. And for me, even though I had some of that base level, I've added on some clients in industries that I haven't even experienced quite before. And so I felt comfortable knowing that I can take them on because somebody in the program has experienced it and can go alongside of me and answer any questions that I may face.
Awesome. I'm just kind of curious, like when you're working with Tiffany, like what's it like, inside the program as far as like, what's the vibe? Is it like super staunch professional? Is it like woohoo, whatever? Like what's kind of the vibe inside the program?
It's a nice blend between the two. So it's very much a warm and welcoming atmosphere inside of the program. There's a lot of mothers who are really looking for something that they can do to leave corporate America and stay home with their little ones. They have a desire to learn and they're very eager, and it's just full of so much love and support. Like everybody that comments, so there's a Facebook group and then there's also Zooms. And so a lot of the people that are in the program, I have come to become good friends with, because you build those relationships, helping one another, commenting on each other's posts, interacting with people on the Zoom calls, that it just very much feels like a family.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a family atmosphere for sure.
Is there anything else you'd like us to discuss or talk about, Tiffany?
Well, I'm just really honored and blown away and thankful that you guys wanted to come on here and do this. I really appreciate, us getting together and hearing your journey, and, I'm very grateful. So thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Is there anything that you want for your students in terms of questions you think that they might have for, like I said, interactions between bookkeepers and end users or anything like that?
Well, I guess probably the most common question that we get is, why would a business owner want to work with somebody that doesn't have 20 years of experience or even 5 years of experience? So coming from your perspective, how do you feel about hiring someone from our student base, knowing that they may not have that much experience?
That's a great question. I guess for me, part of it is my personality is always wanting to trust somebody else. I always want to help somebody else and give them that opportunity because so many people have given me that opportunity in my professional career. So I have that. But I guess the fact that I was able to look at the program, Tiffany, you kind of pulled back the curtain a little bit to show them what was going on. And what I saw was not just, some random, Facebook ad of like a 21-year-old being like, I'll teach you how to do everything and you'll make lots of money. And meanwhile, they're the ones making all the money and it's just a scam. Like when you pull back the curtain, like I realized your professionalism, I realized how you were able to find success and duplicate that. And one of the biggest things that I think businesses have to understand is the art and the skill of duplication. If you're somebody who can take your skill and and make it duplicatable, and you can make it so that someone else can do it and find success, then there's something there. Success leaves clues. And so if you're able to create a program that's successful and help others successful, then I knew that by working with someone in that program, I would find success. And the only reason I wouldn't be finding success is if it was something I was doing on my end, because clearly the program works. Clearly the program works for the bookkeepers that are in it, and they're finding success, and clearly it works for their clients. So for me, part of the value of that was promoted to me was just like, you have an opportunity to work with someone one-on-one that's going to take care of your books, and you don't have to worry about it. And that was the value for me. Like, I needed someone to just handle it, and not someone that I had to like teach how to handle it. Not someone that I had to like spend, I think Drezden and I maybe spent a total of like 20, 30 minutes, like on our first call. Like, I was just like, here's my QuickBooks, here's my bank account, here's my social security number, my blood type, my firstborn child, like, just take it all. And part of that was because I trusted her, because I knew she was a wife, a mother, someone that, you know, just, she had integrity, you know, and I was, and that shone through very quickly and clearly because of how you market your program and your teammates. It's not, you know, about the number. We save you 10% year over year on average, you know, with your 1099K 61 Schedule C, you know, reports. Like, that's not the advertisement. The advertisement is like, look, these are good people that are looking to build their businesses because they're mission-driven moms. And I was on board. I was on board with that mission. So that's why it made a lot of sense to me. And it's just been a great experience, from everything from the onboarding to the ongoing stuff. I mean, Drezden, you know, understands that, like, if she has an idea or something like, hey, Tom, I think you should look at this, like, she just texts me, and it's cool. Like, and I can text her anytime. And there's an understanding that, like, I'm texting her to share information, and she doesn't have to get back to me right away. I mean, she usually does because she's awesome, but like, there's not this like relationship where it's like, you have to call me right back. It's just very clear. And she'll text me and email me, and then she doesn't hound me for information. She knows it's there. She gently reminds me whenever I need to be reminded of something. And it's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience. That's
awesome. So good to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. What are some other questions that you guys get, you know, commonly?
That's a big one for sure. And then a lot of the rest of our questions really revolve around, are there really clients out there? Are they gonna find people like you? That's a big question that they all have. So in your experience being a business owner, like, are there other business owners out there looking for bookkeepers?
Oh, 100%. Because what it comes down to is, most business owners, either it's one of two things, or they found the perfect match, you know, like Drezden. Either they have no idea who their bookkeeper is; it's just somebody that their accountant, you know, just had them do it, or, you know, they're just hiring somebody, and it's just that there's no relationship there, and so there's no connection. So that if I said, hey, you know, what do you think about having an awesome bookkeeper? They're like, yeah, sure. I don't even know my bookkeeper's name, you know. So you have that end of the spectrum, or the bookkeeper is to the point where it's just suffocating, you know, and there's someone that is not adding to the value of the business because they're just always looking at the details, and it's suffocating. So, you know, really finding this spot. Every business owner needs a bookkeeper. And I think it's one of those things that most business owners don't understand the value of working with a bookkeeper that's beyond someone who can run a report, right? Drezden is part of the team, and she helps move my business forward because she's someone who understands, you know, my personality, my goals, and what I'm moving towards. So it's not just a bookkeeper, it's, you know, part of the team. And I think that's probably the biggest value add, or the biggest way you need to position yourself as bookkeepers, is you're not just people who run reports, you're part of the team. And the more that you can show a business owner, like, I want to be a part of your team. And like that was kind of Drezden's vibe. I don't know if she said it or not, but basically it was like, I want to be part of your team and help you succeed. Like, she's very like, how can I help you succeed? And what's great about, I think, your course is when you teach them how to market, you teach them how to position themselves like that. no bookkeepers are marketing themselves like that. They're just, kind of stumbling into clients, somehow because of word of mouth kind of a thing. But when you actually, do well at your craft, and then you pour the gasoline of marketing onto that fire, I mean, you can really do really well. And I imagine you have, clients of yours that are doing amazing things because you're setting them up for that next level of success.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Thank you. That was a great explanation.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd be curious, if Drezden would share, maybe this could be helpful for future content, but like, Drezden, what have been some of your biggest struggles working with either myself or some of your other clients, and how we kind of like resolve them?
Oh, goodness. Struggles are kind of hard because I feel like I have such good connections with all of my clients, like I don't really have anybody to complain about
How,
yet.
how do you deal with an inept business owner? How do you deal with a business owner that's not paying attention to the details, and then deliver the news of like, I need you to pay attention to these details, and deliver news like, because you didn't pay attention to the details, now you owe the government $40,000. How do you deal with that?
So I'm very much a people's person, so having those difficult conversations is a little bit tricky for me. And so I just come at it open, honest. I give them all of the details, but in a soft way. So I'm never going to be like, this is why you have this happen. It's your fault. Like, we've got to fix it now. Like I come about it a lot differently where I'm like, maybe we should look at it this way. Because of this possible scenario, you could have this outcome. Like, these are some ways that we can avoid that outcome. And I try to help you problem solve to get the best results, even despite something that might be challenging. So it's really just a matter of troubleshooting together and trying to be gracious and understanding that the client may be upset with some of the things that I have to share, but it's not directed at me. It's more so about the problem that we're going to combat and fix together.
And are those skills that you learned in the program itself, or that the program was able to help you build on and grow into as you're older?
They definitely helped me build on and grow into. So again, I came into the program needing a lot of mindset work because I lacked a lot of that confidence, and I didn't really believe in myself that I had the capabilities to be on my own. And so because of her program, one of the things that she actually offers is a Monday morning mindset call, where we can get on, we can talk about our struggles, our fears, ways to overcome those. And because of her program, I have grown immensely, even as a person and an individual, aside from just in my business.
Oh, wow. Awesome. What other aspects of your life have you seen yourself grow?
So as a person, like just with my demeanor and the confidence that I have in myself, I feel like I'm a better mother because I have that group of women that I can confide in and share experiences with. And it's like, oh my gosh, my daughter just Tarzan swung off of the porch during a call. Like, please tell me I'm not the only one, And so being able to have that group of women to build those relationships with and talk things through. Even my spiritual life has grown because of the program. I just feel like it's very well-rounded, and it just encompasses so much more than just growing a business.
Now, you came into the program with an accounting background, so, I mean, you knew it all before you got into the program. I mean, did the program even help with the accounting stuff?
It did, because while I went to school and I had a degree in accounting, you can never know everything. Going into it, yes, I worked at a CPA firm. I handled 19 plus different businesses and industries for those firms. But there's always going to be something new, there's always going to be a new client, a new industry that I maybe haven't dabbled in, or a new scenario. Tax laws change every single year. They come up with new rules and regulations. And so to be able to have a group that we can come to, ask any questions, collaborate with one another, talk scenarios through with one another, it is invaluable to be able to have that kind of support.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we do really try to focus a lot on teaching people how to set the foundation for a very profitable business, but that allows them to have the type of lifestyle that they want. And that oftentimes has a lot to do with confidence level, communication, boundaries with clients. Like, it's a very holistic approach versus just saying, okay, we're going to teach you how to type in QuickBooks. There's a lot more that goes into it that we help with.
So I'm kind of curious, Drezden, like the investment that you had to make into the program and beyond, the continued investment in the program, what have been your results? Would you say it's been worth it? And would you say, and like, how would you quantify that, the value that you've had beyond the investment that you had to make?
Oh, definitely. If I had to make the decision again, I would do it in a heartbeat, hands down, no questions asked. This program has literally changed my life because I had a desire to be able to work from home, to be present with my girls. And it started when I had my first daughter, and she's going to be 3 at the end of January. And I had never been able to achieve that. So when I came across Tiffany's program, I had such a strong desire. I wanted to make it work. And I was a little bit desperate at that point, to be honest, going into the program, but it has changed everything because not even the full first year through the program, I was able to leave my job, and I have since replaced my income that I made, in corporate America while working less hours and being able to work from home whenever I want, get the girls in bed, stay up, do some client work, or, I have the flexibility that I never got to have before. And Tiffany's program is the reason for that. So I know that if I had not come across her when I did, I wouldn't be sitting where I'm at today, living in the blessings that I get of being a business owner, So you can't put a price tag on that because she changed my life. And I will say that the investment, I made that back and then some within 6 months of the program. So, and she lets you into the academy for a full year. That way she can really make sure that you feel very comfortable with everything that you're learning. For anybody who doesn't have the accounting experience, she and all of the mentors hold your hand. They walk you through every scenario that you could possibly encounter, and really give you that connection while you're doing it. So what I like about her program is it's not like, here are all of the steps that you could possibly encounter. Here's how to do them in a fake client. They take real life things that are happening and make it applicable and make it so that they're working on the clients that they actually have, learning the skills that they need to do that they can then apply later on to other clients too.
Wow, cool. Just out of curiosity, is there like the craziest, weirdest scenario that's happened to you so far? Like, is there anything to share, like, generically, you've kind of faced? Like, when people ask me, like, when I've been a jet broker, like, what's some of the craziest things? Well, I remember my first jet, and during a pre-buy, one of the mechanics shot a hole in the side of the jet because he knocked over a nitrogen tank and just popped it right into the nose of the plane. That was awesome. But, like, is there anything, I'm kind of curious on your side, like, what's the untold crazy stories of being a bookkeeper that you've experienced so far?
Is this a question for me or Tiffany?
Yeah, I'm curious. Drezden, I'm kind of curious for you, and how you overcame it.
Oh goodness, I'm trying to think here.
Unless you got one, Tiffany.
I'll think of something, I'm sure. But Drezden, you had a couple of interesting first clients, didn't you? Working through some odd requests and things like that with that first one.
So, there was one client that I had that I really had to learn boundaries with in the beginning because, so I have a very giving heart, and I generally pour above and beyond into my clients because I care about their success and I really want them to be successful. So this client came to me and they knew nothing. They didn't know how to really run a business, to be honest with you, aside from accounting. And so I really had to learn how to establish healthy boundaries while being able to give them the guidance that they deserved, and I really just went above and beyond in my service. And from that point forward, I found that I go above and beyond, but that's what makes me different, So I aside from everybody else, like anything else, I want to help you any way that I possibly can, even outside of bookkeeping, whether that be like questions about like how to set up an entity type, or if they have questions about marketing, even though that's not my strong suit. I'll give advice if I have any advice to give or something like that. So that's the client side of it. But I do have some in corporate America that were challenging because I worked for some people that did not value me, and that kind of played a part in why I lacked the confidence to really start my own business. And so there was one time that I actually came to the group where I was just crushed and devastated. And I'm like, I feel like I did this right. I'm not sure why they're so mad at me, because they had left like a really nasty note on a folder for me, and they're like, you never do it this way, like blah 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 blah. And they were like, it was rough. And so I came back to the group and I'm like, how would you have handled it? Like, what did I do wrong, And the group kind of consoled me, and I think it was more so of like an ego and power control type thing rather than like something that I actually did wrong.
They gave you some good ideas for revenge,
Well, I'm not really the revenge type of person. I just kind of eat it and move on gracefully.
Sometimes it's just fun to get the ideas out there. Like, I could go scrape his car. I could,
Yeah. So there have been a lot of scenarios that they worked with me, especially like while I was doing both. So I was still in corporate America while growing my business at the beginning.
Oh, I see.
So there were a lot of times when I had to come to them like, oh my gosh, I just dealt with this. Like, what would you do? Like, how do I move on from this? So, yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll give like one quick little plug. Like, well, let me ask you, Drezden, and then I'll do the same, and then we can kind of wrap up. But Drezden, if you were speaking to someone that was thinking about taking the plunge and trying the program out, what would you say to them?
They will not regret it. Tiffany's program is, I might be a little bit biased, but it's one of the best ones out there because she goes above and beyond in the program. She really takes all of the information that the people that she's serving, she wants their opinions and their values and their feedback to really try to make the program as best as she possibly can so that she can impact more moms' lives, or anybody who wants to start a bookkeeping business. But she has a heart to serve, and you will not go wrong in her program because it encompasses everything aside from just the business. So you're going to come out better one way or another, and the whole entire team that Tiffany has is geared towards your success. So if you put any effort in, you're going to be successful by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I would just say to any business owner that's looking at hiring, well, let me ask you this, Tiffany. What do you call your bookkeepers? Do they have your cake and eat it too bookkeepers, or what's kind of the?
They're like self-named cake family members.
Okay, so if someone's looking to hire a cake family member, that's how you would put it.
Yeah, or a Bookkeeper Academy graduate, sure.
There we go. Okay.
That's something more in line with what they're looking for.
Gotcha. Well, to anyone who's looking at hiring a Bookkeeper Academy graduate, I can unequivocally say it's one of the best business decisions I've ever made. As a solopreneur, I was starting out, on my own, working at a brokerage, and so a lot of stuff was taken care of for me. And then I brought Drezden on, and then since then I have moved away from that broker. Now I'm really on my own, and I'm so thankful that I have Drezden. I have a bookkeeper on my team to help me make that transition efficiently and effectively so that I'm not missing out in the transition that's going to, set me up for future success. So to anyone who's considering hiring a graduate, I highly recommend them. They are very intelligent, professional, well-trained, and they're going to be a valuable member of your team. It's not just a box that you check, on I'm building a business, I need someone to look at it, but the valuable member of your team, even if you're good at numbers, unlike me, enjoy looking at that stuff, having a second pair of eyes is just invaluable. So I highly, highly recommend anyone from the Bookkeeper Academy as a future hire for your business.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Cool. I appreciate everybody's time. I'm going to stop the recording, but